Woof, bad spot to leave episode 34 of Ascendance of Bookworm. Really bad cliffhanger. This week is going to be rough. I'm having a feeling like this week is just going to be the week of cliffhangers. We already had Spy Family doing it, and I'm sure Summertime Rendering is going to do it again, but I'm sure everything will be fine. But yeah, this is my thoughts on episode 34, so let's jump into it. So unfortunately, my thoughts on Delia came true. Now, granted, from a different perspective, honestly, my thought process was that mine was going to be forced to have to tell Delia what's going on, and then Delia would just leak that to the High Priest because Delia still wants to appease the High Priest. But thankfully, it wasn't really quite what I was expecting. She was technically going for the good of Dirk, because mine doesn't tell her everything. She says, we're looking for a family for Dirk, but she doesn't mention the fact is because the child has devouring. Just mainly focusing on, yes, Ferdinand's looking, he's having difficulty, so we're still going to look after Dirk. It was a little bit weird on the translations here. I'm not sure if it was just a mistranslation or something. It just felt weird because Delia immediately goes, oh, so we're not being separated. And it's like, well, no, you are being separated, just not yet. So I don't know what got lost in translation there, but Delia seems happy with this idea that no, Dirk's not leaving yet, but we're looking for a home for Dirk. Maybe the lost in translation there or adaptation there was that she was specifically saying that Delia could still be with Dirk in the end. We're not just getting rid of the child. Either way, Delia is still happy in the idea that she's still able to be with Dirk. Dirk is not going away anytime soon, but yes, that doesn't stop her from going to the High Priest. So yes, Delia goes to the High Priest and says, hey, Ferdinand's looking for a place to stick this child, and yeah, sure enough, High Priest is like, so Ferdinand's personally looking for somebody to send this child to. Yeah, he's gonna make the connection there. High Priest is gonna make a connection there. But as we kind of find out throughout the episode, yeah, it does look like the High Priest is adopting off Dirk to this other noble from the other domain, and Delia believes that she's gonna go with them. It seems like based on Delia's conversation with mine, she will be going with the child until it's of age, so I don't know if that's going to turn out to be what she's expecting it to be. Obviously, we're not really looking too forward to this guy that is using the devouring. But on this whole side of this situation, I felt pretty bad because I think that over the last few episodes, and well, technically ever since the first meeting with Delia, mine has been doing a fantastic job of making a connection with Delia that nobody else has. Yes, even mine, when she does finally dismiss Delia, everybody's telling her, look, just let her go. She's nothing but bad news for you. Everything that you do, she's going to tell the High Priest. You need to separate yourself from Delia. She's not a good... I mean, that's the whole situation with Dirk. She was dancing around Delia because they knew Delia would tell the High Priest. Now, again, she did, but it was because she wants to protect Dirk. But it was like this final moment where it really felt like, especially the first part of this episode, it felt like mine was finally getting connection with Delia. Delia was finally finding something to focus on, which was Dirk. This is her first family member, the first person she can call her family, and she didn't want to lose Dirk. So it's really tragic after all this that she's essentially losing her. Now, my mind is that I believe that this isn't the end. I really do feel like with this noble still in this area, there's still a chance now, technically, this noble, I'm assuming, has kidnapped mine. Mine's going to eventually get to wherever this noble is and possibly stop them. And in stopping them, we'll stop them from taking both Dirk and Delia. Now, there is a chance that mine will escape, but Delia and Dirk will not. But I just have a feeling that this isn't it. I think we're still going to have Delia around because I just don't see... There's so much build-up here. And I don't want it just to end with Delia seeing the terrible things about this other noble, and then hopefully way down the road, mine goes and rescues them. Somehow. Yeah, the flashbacks that mine was seeing was just heartbreaking. Just, yeah, Delia afraid of going back to the orphanage, just accepting Delia in the beginning. It just was, it was really heartbreaking. Because again, this was somebody that mine was really, truly trying to help. She was really trying to give Delia some focus besides becoming a concubine, being used by somebody. Another segment of this episode was just some additional progressions in Mine's project. We obviously have them go to meet Heidi and Joseph again, showing them the fixing agent, which seems to upset Heidi because she was wanting to find out what was causing the colors to change and to fade, and now she doesn't have to anymore because they have the fixing agent. But it does seem like Mine still wants her to continue her research just because they want more vibrant colors, so she's going to fund her to keep being Mine. I guess. It'd have some more moments in there of, oh yeah, they're just like two peas in a pod. They're just so similar to each other. Additionally, getting into wanting to make wax paper, which I love the comment between Gil and Lutz. Lutz and Gil are both fully understanding of who Mine is. So when it comes to just random stuff she's thinking of, oh, where are we going to find that? Probably in Mine's head. This eventually leads to them going to Johan, where they have him make both a bell and a stylus. The bell was cute. Her getting Camille a bell, and still he doesn't like her. I am really waiting for the moment that we find out why, if there's something about Mine that makes Camille not like her. Again, my weird inside prediction is that maybe a young child, an infant, is able to see maybe her other spirit in there, like he's able to see Mine's true self or something like that. But or maybe it's just the fact that she's devouring and that does affect the child. But I mean, that doesn't really necessarily affect Dirk too much, it seems, but maybe that's because Dirk has the devouring. And finally, the last part of this, which is the stressful part of this entire episode, was easily the arrival of the noble from another domain, which at this point I'm assuming is Count Bindewald, the one that does seem to have an army of devourers and wants Mine, and has seemingly now acquired the rights to adopt Dirk. It seems like they try to get into the East Gate, which they quickly signal for the Knights. We get a little bit insight into how the guards themselves handle the arrival of nobles in general, which is that when a noble arrives and they don't have some sort of pass that allows them to get in, which you can't right now because the Lord's out, it seems like they are supposed to call for the Knights immediately. Because obviously, if, you have commoners here that are guarding the gates, they can't fight a noble. So the moment a noble arrives, they signal for the Knights, and the Knights handle it, basically. So at some point during the episode, they signal because this count arrived at the East Gate. Apparently they sent them away, saying that you cannot come in. That would lead to them essentially notifying Gunther, Mine's father, to not allow anybody in, because from Ferdinand's perspective, yeah, the Lord's not here. Nobody's getting allowed in. But they're probably going to forge something to get in. And with the Lord out, Ferdinand's on high alert. There's something going to happen. They're going to take this opportunity basically to come in. And obviously, the High Priest is behind it. Yes, the High Priest is extremely angry that they get between him and what he wants. Gosh, I hate that scene. Throwing stuff at the ladies. It's like, Santa Claus has got to go. I hope Santa Claus is gone by the end of this season, which bothers me because now I know that it's only 2 more episodes left in the season. It really bothers me that I'm not sure if we'll get a really solid conclusion, but a lot can happen in 2 episodes, I guess. But yeah, despite Mine's father, Gunther, telling everybody all the different gates, don't let anybody in, check these forms, make sure they're not forgeries, they still get in. They still get in the East Gate. And of course, this puts Daniel in high gears, like, this is not a good thing. He signals off to let everybody know that this noble, the same noble that from before got in, and then yes, Mine and seemingly Turi have been kidnapped at this point. So, woof. Very, very much so woof at this point. I unfortunately seen the title for the next episode, so I kind of know what's going to happen. I mean, you can assume that was going to happen because that's something that was brought up in the season, but either way, I'm still a little bit upset, especially that Turi has been involved. It was kind of cute in the idea that at some point in this episode, you had Turi, you had Lutz and all them kind of showing up, and they wanted to protect Mine, and she's like, look, you're just going to cause an issue. She has Daniel. Technically, Mine can protect herself in a sense, so, but it's still cute that Tootie wanted to get involved, wanted to protect her. She's her big sister, so she wants to protect Mine, but having to have her get involved is kind of crushing for me. Hopefully, it's not too much of a traumatic experience for her. I kind of have a feeling that Mine is going to get out of the situation. Like, she is going to either use her magic or somebody's going to protect her and release her from it. And I kind of have a feeling that the guy that captured Tootie is going to get away, and that the Count is going to think that Tootie is the one that has this devouring, which is obviously going to leave Mine to being extremely angry, and I'm wondering if that will cause her to lose control of herself, maybe in front of Bindewald or others. But either way, like I said, it's going to be a very painful wait, but I'm sure the next 2 episodes are going to be fantastic. I hope it has a good stopping point. Like I said, my prediction is that Mine's going to get free, Tootie's going to be taken to Bindewald. Both Delia and Dirk are going to be brought to him as well. Mine will probably get Tootie free, but I do kind of think there's a possibility that Delia and Dirk will be taken away. Maybe that, or Ferdinand and Daniel and all of them are going to just rise up and just completely take down this noble Bindewald. I would be very surprised to see if he does make it out of there in one piece. He's treading in very, very shaky ground to be doing that in the middle of somebody else's domain, so. But we'll see. We'll see. He might have a whole slew of Devourers that will be fighting for him. Maybe those two that kidnapped Mine and Tootie will be as well. So next 2 episodes are gonna be crazy. I really am excited for it. I hope, again, nobody gets harmed, but we'll see. Well, that's my thoughts on episode 34 of Ascendance of Bookworm. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below and comment. Let me know if you loved the episode. Subscribe if you have not already. Share this video if you can. Support us on Patreon or through our tips link in the description below. We definitely appreciate everybody that supports us, and y'all take care.